Hello, everyone, and welcome to DC, guys. This is a special episode today. We're getting excited. We're being prepared for excitement of DC crossing over with Sonic. I'm your host, Adam.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Alanna.
All right. So today, this episode will be about all the crossovers DC has done over the past years and decades, actually. So, without introduction, Lon, tell us what your favorite DC crossover was.
First one, Batman, Spider-Man.
Okay.
Only because it was very interesting just to see how the two interacted. Because, Spider-Man has his morals, Batman has his. It's also funny to see Batman go up to Spider-Man and be like, what are you doing in my city? And then also Joker and Carnage interacting together, too. Also, the art style is just beautiful. Love it.
And Mark Bagley artwork, phenomenal.
Yeah.
It definitely feels very much like you can hear when you're reading that comic book. You can hear every voice actor had done in the comic book, from Christopher Daniel Barnes to Kevin Conroy to Mark Hamill to who voices Carnage in Spider-Man the Animated Series. Thought, got any good crossovers DC had done?
Ooh, I gotta go with when they cross over with the Looney Tunes. I'm not just saying that because, we had a movie that came out this weekend. I am literally saying this because Yosemite Sam bitch slaps a hooker. In the Jonah Hex crossover. Daffy and Joker, in the Looney Bin together.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Mark Russell does a brilliant job with Lex Luthor and Porky Pig. And you can't go wrong with Tom King.
A lot of people's favorite comic book.
The Elmer Fudd crossover.
Who would have thought Batman and Elmer Fudd would have been a great crossover event?
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to actually take the comic book and actually make a little movie for it. Because I feel like it could work.
It could. People would see it.
Yeah, I think definitely people would watch it. And they don't, at the end of the day, the Looney Tunes are in it, but they're all human.
Yeah.
They're all crazy humans, which I think is absolutely funny. I remember Comic Book Resources, they did an article going Batman's kind of a douchebag right now, just beating the crap out of Marvin, who's acting like he's a Martian, And I just love the twist ending where it's it was all bugs.
One of my favorite Looney Tune crossovers with DC, I love Daffy and the Joker.
Yeah.
It's Daffy going to Arkham Asylum was perfect because he is loony. Alanna, do you have any Looney Tune DC crossovers you enjoyed?
Oh, it's not Looney Tunes, but Scooby-Doo.
All right, Scooby-Doo.
Especially the original Scooby-Doo and Batman crossover.
Okay.
From the Scooby-Doo movies?
No, from the original Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah, the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, okay, well. So, I like the part where, you see Shaggy and Scooby and they're running and the Joker and the Penguin, they're switching the bridge around and they're going through and it's just wait a minute, hold on. And then they go back again and then they keep ending up on the same side. And then the comics are actually really entertaining too. It's not just for adults, it's also for kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm enjoying those ones so far.
My favorite one, they did one where it was the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had every carnation of the Scooby gang. You had little Velma from Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and you had Daphne from A Soupy Apocalypse. Yep. All teaming up to stop whatever the villain was.
I enjoyed the one where Scooby-Doo works with where the gang works with Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they stopped the Royal Flush Gang. But one of the things I liked about those Scooby-Doo crossovers is it's all different animation from each era of Scooby-Doo, which I like, and also Batman too. You can see some of the Super Friends, you see some of the new style, and then you see some of the animated series style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought there was also one where it was Adam West's and Batman too.
There is.
That one was just as good.
What about you, man? You haven't given us your...
My favorite DC crossover event with any team is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's a good one.
It's everything I always wanted, with like playing with the toys over the years, crossing everything over. Like, oh, how cool would it be if they ever crossed over? Just the Power Rangers talking to Batman.
That one of those opening panels where they're like, "Guys, we got a problem." What? Their Aerodactyl just took the Batwing.
Yeah. The cliffhanger at the end.
Oh yeah.
I'm still waiting.
I don't think we're ever gonna get it.
But I'm still waiting for it because that cliffhanger was. If you haven't read it, go read it because I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Because as much as I would love to sit there and talk about how Alpha 5, becomes a giant robot and fights, in downtown Metropolis, I think should explain the reasons why you should read it. That made me lose my mind. Was that panel right there? Just ooh.
Oh, what else is another good crossover? Oh, yeah, everyone's. I mean, it's made into a movie. It's had 3 comics.
Technically 4.
4, yeah. Well, I love. Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman.
Oh yeah.
So that one was interesting because I was just like, oh, okay, they're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now with Batman.
It's the perfect crossover if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Which of the series is your favorite? Do you like 1, 2, 3, or do you like Adventures?
I have to go with the first one because that's the one that I do remember. I never finished 3 for the sole purpose that we kept selling out.
Okay.
And I never read, I don't remember too much. So I do go with 1, and I remember bits and pieces of Adventures. Cow bummer.
Well, I mean, I like them all, honestly.
Did you read them all?
I did.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed them all, honestly, because I like both. I grew up with both, so I'm gonna enjoy both.
It's because I like it. I really enjoyed the Adventures. Definitely with. Of course. Well, yeah. Well, it's got the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Batman the Animated Series. Just like the Turtles fighting the Batman villains with like the Mad Hatter, the Joker, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, this is awesome. And like the animation and just like the panels, like it feels like it could be still part of like an animated series. Like this should be canon to the Batman animated universe.
Now, do you think they would ever make a cartoon?
Well, they did make
a movie.
Besides the movie, but like an actual ongoing series.
I would love to see, as a comic book series, I would love to see an ongoing one. I don't think you can do much after 3 because I never finished 3, but I know the concept of 3. Like they fought the Anti-Monitor. Like you can't go any higher than that. Like unless somehow the Batman who laughs, combines with the Shredder. Like I don't see them going any bigger unless they decide to do an ultra big crossover where it's the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and Marvel and
and then like I don't know, Godzilla, Ultron. Before we get to that cool crossover, how did you like the cartoon? How did you like the animated movie?
I really enjoyed it. It has issues though, but I thought it was a really good telling of the comic book. There were bits and pieces that I remember not really liking, but I haven't seen it in a while I love the ending. I love the cool fight scene in Arkham where everyone became like a mutant animal. But I think I had a problem with the animation a little bit. I think it was a little bit too stiff.
The animation definitely, I think, was aimed towards for kids. Like kids' animation compared to what the animation we've been getting lately with DC, like the new 52 DC. Yeah, the animated one.
It was probably a budget thing because I mean, to make a project like that, you have to cut corners because you're getting 2 different companies involved.
I actually really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the animation. Actually, I thought it was cool with the having that full blown gray and blue instead of the black. Because of the comics, he's got the black symbol instead. He's got the yellow symbol, and you got Troy Baker as Batman. He does a good job.
Yeah.
On it. But can we talk about the big crossover that everybody has been enjoying from DC lately?
There's a big crossover?
No, it was like from last
a big
summer.
monkey and a big lizard.
Yeah, let's talk about the big monkey and the big lizard. I had to think about that one for a minute. Like, what are we talking about?
It's been in the shop for a while too.
I know. It's amazing. The only thing I don't really like about it, just it's set in another universe. Like, you know.
When is it never?
Yeah. But I love the fact that like it's Toyman's problem. Like Toyman caused all of this.
Yeah.
That made me go, this is amazing. I feel like I really wish I had like one more issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it's like you did this whole thing with like King Ghidorah and the Lazarus Pit, but you didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know, Superman, you know, I would love to have seen like Superman really outside of the battle. Maybe he comes at the very, very end, but
I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the first issue a lot because it's Superman and Lois on a date. All of a sudden, you just hear this big boom roar noise, and all of a sudden, you just see Clark doing this, and he's like, "I gotta go," and he takes off, and it's just this big panel shot, Godzilla and Superman, and then it ended with like that, and I was like, "This is wow." So
I like that they made Godzilla a threat. Like that was
Yeah.
my big thing. And I love like the reason why Godzilla attacks Superman is because who's the most powerful being in the universe?
Yeah.
It was Superman.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you watch the Godzilla movies, especially recently, Godzilla will go after what he deems a threat.
Yeah.
So he deemed Kong a threat in like the last one, Godzilla X Kong, until what's his name? The red one came up.
The red monkey.
Yeah, the red monkey. We all know that one.
What are you expecting for the sequel?
Ooh. I want to see. Well, I know we're gonna get Mecha.
Mm-hmm.
I think is it Mecha Ghidorah or Mecha Godzilla? I don't know which one. But we're gonna get Lex Luthor in a mech.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I really hope that Kong gets his lantern back. It's just like, why not? Like, nice power up for Godzilla. Like, I'm hoping that Godzilla is friends with Superman rather than be like,
how cool would it be if Lex Luthor's got his mecha suit, and then all of a sudden, like Superman and Batman, the Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, the Flash, like the whole Justice League, they're just teaming up with Godzilla and King Kong. They all work together and they just devour.
Yeah, I'd like to see them because I'm going to assume it's probably going to take place after Godzilla X Kong. So I'm kind of hoping that Godzilla and Kong are friends. Friends. But I'm hoping to see. I like to see the composite Superman robot, come into play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Throw in. Help me out here. The giant monkey that Superman fights. I have a hair click of it.
Figure that. Let me go to our famous thing called the internet.
Yeah. Give me some. Give me Giganta.
Yeah.
Give me the big colossal people to come in there and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Show me Mothra.
Yeah, I would love to see Mothra appear.
Titano, yes. Yeah. I like him to be friend Kong, Maybe have Detective Chip on the corner,
And then Kong with his lantern again.
Or I would love to, them to actually expand the concept of Gorilla Grodd mind controlling Kong.
Yeah.
No, we need this, buddy. We need Jimmy.
Yes, we need the Jimmy Olsen. I'll put it up there on the.
We need Jimmy Olsen back.
Bring him back.
Bring back.
I hope they do that in the Superman movies, like just a montage of like crappy things they do to Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman movie. I want there to be a marriage where Superman's like, yeah, you got to marry the monkey. You see ya, bye.
Yeah.
Like that's something to me that James Gunn would do.
Yeah.
Who would it be if that was like the post? Actually, a post-credit scene. It was just Jimmy Olsen is the monster, and all of a sudden Superman's like, Jimmy, what happened to you? I grew.
What's some other crossovers? I'm trying to think. Oh, we have Batman and Spawn.
Batman and Spawn.
I don't remember the original, but I know the new one. I remember the new one.
I like the new one a lot. I enjoyed the first. They did two. They did three. There's three of them now.
Yeah.
The second one, I vaguely remember. The first one was very much McFarlane drawing. Who was the other one? Oh yeah, Batman. Batman and the Joker crossed over with the Mask.
Oh yeah.
That is a loony bonkers.
I want to know who originally came up with the idea and was just like, let's do this. And then it's just like, okay, we'll roll with it.
So, the hits with like Batman versus Predator.
Yep.
Batman versus Alien.
Superman versus Alien.
Yeah, Superman versus Alien.
Talking about that, let's talk about what are our favorite films. Batman Dead End.
So good. This was a time when, like,
you would never see something like that.
You would have never ever seen something like this. This was a time when people were trying to get Batman to work again. Because the last live action thing we had of Batman was Batman and Robin. And like I said, fans hate that movie so much.
Yeah.
The idea of a fan film to take over and like make this dark Batman movie. Like, this was what fans were craving finally. And the idea, it was left off on a nice, like, cliffhanger. It just says a lot, like, and I mean, spoilers to say it. I know which one you're talking about. Batman is, like, getting ready to fight the Predator, and all of a sudden, here's a Xenomorph, and here's another Predator, here's another Predator, here's another Xenomorph, and it ends that. And it cuts to the end.
But what's really interesting about that movie is that is Kevin Smith's favorite Batman film. He has said that multiple times. I have met the director, Sandy Collar. Really cool dude. Met him at a 24-hour sci-fi movie marathon way back in the day.
What did he talk about with that? Because you've talked to him about it. Why did he do that one?
He wanted Batman to be dark and gritty, and he just read the Batman Predator crossover and just like, I want to do something different. I want to make it dark. I want this to feel like it's Batman and all that other jazz, and that's why he did it.
And that's a good point, because that's really because you had Clooney, you had Alien Resurrection,
and
you had Predator. I forgot which Predator they had.
Right.
Those were all three franchises that got killed, and then Batman Dead End comes out. Spuns, and I mean, this thing you can find on like a DVD and a video, but you're trying to figure out where to find Batman Dead End. You can find it on YouTube.
Yep. Let's talk about teaming up with real people, shall we?
Oh my God,
we got to talk about when Superman teamed up with Muhammad Ali.
Fight.
There's his autograph right there.
That's awesome. What do you remember about that book?
Superman should have won.
Yeah.
But I just like the humor behind it. It's just like, all right, Superman, you don't know how to box, so I'm going to teach you how to box. We're going to have a fight under the red sun. We're going to see who wins this. Like, this was pure 70s at its peak. This was a product of its time. You don't mess with Muhammad Ali. Like,
you don't.
It was just a fun comic.
And it was cool, like, letting the American legend win against the Man of Steel.
He saves the day. Like, that was him in the boxing match, because Superman was like, I'm going to sneak off and, actually do something, Great inspiration for an episode of Dexter's Laboratory. But yeah, that fantastic book. Trying to think what else. I can't believe we're not thinking of these crossovers.
You know what crossover that I was thinking of?
Just keep
going back to the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
My favorite crossover from Scooby-Doo Batman, or DC in general, is it's actually Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yep.
I love that crossover.
Oh yeah.
Because number one, Scooby-Doo meets Brave and the Bold Batman. and like you have all these obscure superheroes this time, and like Aquaman is pretending to be like a Sherlock Holmes because he's not a detective, so he shows up as a detective, like Detective Chimp talking to the Scooby-Doo gang, Plastic Man trying to flirt with Daphne,
Oh my god.
or the best when the gang goes to Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
The where Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, they're making sandwiches and they're fun. They see the Rogues Gallery, and how do they defeat them? Or how do they defeat them? Sandwiches.
Hey, sandwiches is the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Shaggy and Scooby way. Remember, Shaggy can't use his 1% of power.
Or the gang dressed up as the Fat Family.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Injustice Meets He-Man?
No. So here was the thing. So number one, we only had one copy. We always only had one copy. And it would be, all right, put it out, and it would be that one person that needed to get that, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm not reading this.
Wow, one of those.
Well, yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, it's either we don't get it, or just like we have that one copy, and
it sells out. It's like, well, I don't know.
Or you're all excited to read, like you know you read the first 3 issues, and you're like, we're getting plenty of copies, but it's not selling as well, so we don't order as many. So we get to issue 4, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to read issue 4. It's coming out this week. We only ordered 1 copy, and someone already bought it. Like, what the?
Yeah, it's very much like that. It's like, huh? It happened. What was it? Turtles back when Batman Turtles 3. Like we ordered so many copies at one point, and then all of a sudden it just shrunk, and then finally it was like 2 or 3 copies were put out. It's like, how am I supposed to read this?
I want to read.
Here's an interesting one. I don't know if you read this one, but Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77.
Okay, I have read this.
Oh.
And I read the one with George Reed. They did a George Reed's one.
Yeah.
They did one with the Avengers.
Yeah, the British Avengers.
Mrs. Peel and John Steed.
And they did Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet, and they did one with Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yep, I forgot about that one. Yep, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yep.
Out of all those ones, the Green Hornet, I think Green Hornet and Batman in 66 is just the best. It's one of the best crossover events. Number one, from the television series to begin with, from Batman and Robin climbing up the building, and they see Green Hornet and Kato, and they're like, "What are you doing in Gotham? We're here to solve something. Why are you here, Batman? I'm here to fight crime. I'm gonna keep my eye on you guys." What else? Oh, I mean, 66 had a lot of crossover events. From special guests from Sammy Davis.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis. Santa Claus. I think that's still one of the weirdest ones. Was Santa Claus meeting Batman. And it's like summer in Gotham.
No.
Did you read the one where they cross over with Archie?
Oh, I
okay.
That one.
All right. So I read the first one. And then how it goes. Yeah, then it goes. 1 copy. And then it's like, all right, cool. And then you got the art. And then you got that one Archie fan that's got to make sure that they got it.
Well.
And so it'd be like, okay.
That's how it always goes, though.
Yep. Did you read that one?
No, that was the same problem.
Yeah. You see, we have the same problems when those...
Here's another fun one for us. Planet of the Apes and the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh.
Okay.
I wasn't a really big fan of that one. I don't know. It just, for me, it just wasn't. I love Green Lanterns.
I didn't read this one.
Oh.
I just wasn't a really big fan of that.
Now, is it because you're not a fan of Planet of the Apes?
No, I like Planet of the Apes. And I like Green Lantern. But for some reason, I couldn't get into it. I was like reading it, and I was just like...
Because it's one of those books that I know I read it, and I know that Cornelius got the ring, and that's really it.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of remember more of the when Green Lantern crossed over with Star Trek.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
I showed my dad that one. He was just like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, Star Trek started crossing over, did a lot of crossovers too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But this is DC. This is not Star Trek. Todd.
But we talked about they cross over with Green Lantern. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm not talking about when the time they cross over with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Even though I really would like to talk about the time they crossed over with Doctor Who.
was so good, but no,
Yeah.
we're talking about DC. What else? Okay, let me ask you guys this one. What crossover do you want DC with next time? No Marvel. We're not going to talk about Marvel because Marvel has already got the crossover.
Well, if Marvel's already done it, I don't think DC has done it yet. I don't know if they would be able to do it though, but Transformers and Justice League.
That would be good. That'd be a good one.
That'd be an interesting one.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe too.
G.I. Joe
Lex
and G.I. Robot.
Yeah. Lex Luthor.
G.I. Joe and Sergeant Rob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be really interesting. But continue, because I rudely interrupted you.
Lex Luthor working with Cobra Commander.
Yep.
And then Gorilla Grodd is there too.
Batman and Snake Eyes working together.
Ooh.
Maybe not working together, but like alongside.
You know what I want to see is it's Batman and Snake Eyes. They're practicing, and Snake Eyes ends up beating Batman, and Batman and Snake Eyes doesn't talk.
Yeah.
So it probably going to drive Batman crazy.
I got to think about this one for a minute because
I got one.
Go ahead.
I want to see the Flash meet Doctor Who.
That'd be a very interesting.
I don't need any spears because we're dealing with time travel.
Mm-hmm.
We're dealing with the Speed Force.
Yeah.
How cool would it be if the Speed Force was inside the TARDIS? The TARDIS was able to see the Speed Force.
Or that's how actually the TARDIS moves through time. Is it uses the Speed Force, and then he crashes into it. I think that'd be really interesting.
Who would be the Doctor?
I want 10. 10 or 11.
You want David.
Capaldi.
Okay,
Capaldi, yes.
It's pretty good too.
I'd like to see. Actually, I'd like to see Eccleston, because we have this one little era where Eccleston was there for a little bit. Maybe he had met the DC universe.
Yeah. That or 8. I like to see 8.
Ooh, Paul McGann, yeah.
I just want more 8.
Mm-hmm. I want to see the War Doctor a lot more.
Yeah,
because he went on some crazy adventures. Matt Smith would be cool. The 11th Doctor would be cool. Of course, David Tennant. The 14th Doctor would be cool because he shows up and then he was a woman and then he transported. That'd be kind of cool if he.
Oh, continue on.
That'd be kind of cool if while he was traveling through time, he went into a dimension and he saw a quickly of a creature of a ship of a bat or a flying man.
What I think the story should actually be, it's the Flash, runs into the TARDIS, it's Eccleston, or it's we'll go with the 6th Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That's one issue. They stop a Dalek in the second issue. He crashes into again. It's Tennant. Crashes into again. It's Capaldi.
They just keep making that joke. We gotta stop. Into each
every
other.
time the Flash, the Doctor regenerates. I would be sweet, and it's right in the Flash always crashes into the TARDIS every time the Doctor had regenerated. Because the regeneration activated the TARDIS, and all of a sudden the Speed Force is going crazy.
Villain, you're gonna like this one. The Death.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Death would be cool. Who would you want for the Flash film? A Flash film.
Well, that's the villain. That's Speed Death. Whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta have. I think it should be. I think it should be the Cybermen and the Daleks.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta have at least one of those two. The Weeping Angels, I think, would be really interesting.
I was gonna say the Weeping Angels because it would have been interesting to see Flash. Because you're supposed to keep your eye on them.
Yeah.
Weeping Angels end up in the mascara. It all crosses over to a big Justice League event. You find out Cybermen had invaded Gotham.
Yeah.
Or the Zygons pretending to be the Daily Planet. Pretending to be everyone from the Daily Planet.
Clark figures it out though.
Actually, no. The whole theme is that Superman.
He's a Zygon.
Yeah, Superman turns into Superman's a Zygon.
What if it's Jimmy Olsen that figures it out?
That'd be kind of cool.
Superman, Clark. Wait, you're not Clark?
Hanna-Barbera characters, DC.
Yeah, well, they did a bunch of those, but yeah, I pulled up the list right now because I was like, I'm missing something here. Like, what cross? I'm like, I totally forgot about Deathstroke and Yogi Bear, Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey. Like,
is that the third round or was that the second round?
I think it was the second round because I think they only did 2 rounds.
Whoa, who was the one with the speed buggy?
The Flash.
The Flash, yes.
Yeah.
I always remember that. I was always because those were the ones we were always putting back.
That's a great crossover if anyone has actually read it. Lobo and Roadrunner.
Yeah, that was good.
Marvin the Marshman. I forgot about that one. But what crossover would you like to see?
Oh well, I thought I just named it.
Doctor Who, but that was his choice.
No, not Doctor Who. Transformers.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. What
about you, Todd?
You know, since we're talking on the idea of Transformers, Etrigan Demon, Dead Man, go to New York City, and who do they call?
Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters. I can't think of one, and I'm like, well, they Ghostbusters, Transformers, and Ninja Turtles. So why not?
I don't think they've done this one either. Terminator.
They actually have.
They have.
I think it was Superman.
Oh, well, that's Superman. What if he did it with the Justice League?
I like to see
Batman.
I would like to see it with Booster Gold.
Oh, Booster Gold would have been interesting too. Let's see what else.
Ooh, I got one.
I'm trying to figure like movie franchises and things like that because
I got
Gem World, Steven Universe.
Oh, I thought they did that.
Well, they did the multiverse game.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because that had Steven and Bugs, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. This one, it's Steven, it's Pearl, and them. And they go to the Gem World and they meet
what about
the princess?
Did they ever do a Courage the Cowardly Dog one?
They did it with Scooby-Doo.
But that's Scooby-Doo, not Courage the Cowardly Dog. You know, everything.
Well, I mean, Scooby-Doo crossover, yeah.
There's always something weird happening out there. What if somehow something...
It's the question.
Yeah, it's the question.
Puff Girls.
Oh yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory. Oh, could you imagine them crossing over with all the characters like Johnny Bravo?
I was thinking Johnny Bravo. Like, who would be like? I would love for like I'm trying to figure who would cross over with Johnny Bravo.
Hold on, Crypto the Super Dog with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, there we go. I like the idea. Just the question is like they're in the middle of nowhere. What's all these strange things going on? There's only one person who can figure that out. That's the question. I would love Johnny Bravo crash lands on Themyscira.
Yes. No, yes.
Alternate universe.
That reminds me of the episode where she's like, I'm an Amazon, and Johnny's
like make this whole thing where like it's a what if scenario. It's like instead of Steve Trevor's, it's Johnny Bravo.
Pretty lady.
Who should cross over with Samurai Jack?
Oh, I'm thinking Batman for that one.
No.
Either Batman or Deathstroke.
Deathstroke with Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
Ra's al Ghul and Vandal Savage.
Yes. No hero.
Yeah, no hero. It's those two villains. Yeah, you want to pick heroes that are like immortal, and it's just like they're like just below a coup.
Oh, could you imagine like the talk between Ra's al Ghul and a coup?
Yeah,
that would be like a coup. Like a coup bows to Ra's al Ghul because Ra's al Ghul has been. We don't know how long Ra's al Ghul has actually been alive. Maybe.
Who knows?
Ooh, what else? Hold on. Powerpuff Girls. Who would you guys want with Powerpuff Girls? I honestly, I'd love to see
Superman.
No, actually, no.
I think it'd be
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
Oh, Teen Titans too. That'd be nice.
The Teen Titans with the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Bubbles picking up the Teen Titans found.
I would love it to be like it's not necessarily a crossover. It's just like Batman calls him up. You're taking care of Gotham for a week, just to see what these 5-year-old girls are gonna do in Gotham City.
Arkham Asylum meets Foster's Home for Our Imaginary.
Oh my gosh.
Very kids.
Cheese.
Yup, cheese. And here's the thing: cheese annoys all the villains back to the cell. Like they try to kill cheese, and cheese somehow comes alive.
I like pepperoni.
Let's talk about a crossover that almost happened.
Okay, you know what you're talking about. Go ahead, Todd.
The Star Wars DC crossover.
Mhm.
Yep. This could have been awesome. This could have happened. This really could have happened. This could have been stuff like, this stuff was created like, take your toys. You take your toys and you play with them, you cross them over. You know what happens? You make something epic in a story. Then you get DC announcing a crossover, and like dreams could come true, and you could finally be happy. But nah, does it?
The child and Adam died. there.
What did you think of the unproduced Star Wars?
Potential. It had so much potential, but I was like, oh, maybe at some point in the future.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I can dream.
You're gonna
I
get
can
Spider-Man
do-
teaming up with Luke Skywalker now, and you're
Yeah.
gonna like it.
Well,
You know what?
That's
I'll
okay.
take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Because you know what? When I took my toys, when I was teaming up with the Star Wars character, I had Batman going through the whole Jedi training in a month.
What lightsaber?
He had a green saber.
Mm.
Yoda liked him. Mace Windu hated him.
I can see that.
And they were fighting in the Clone Wars.
Mm.
Here's an interesting one for you. I got two of them for you. John Wick meeting up with Deathstroke,
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
or the League of Assassins. One of those two.
Yeah.
I want to see. I would always see. I've always seen like fan art. I want to see John Wick fight Batman. Because it was I made a poll on our superheroes group, and that was really talked about, like who could win in a fight, John Wick or Batman.
Well, besides, also on the topic of Keanu Reeves, what about Berserker? You know, the Berserker comics?
I was gonna say Bill and Ted.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh.
Bill
Ted
too.
with Booster Gold.
Yeah. Booster Gold, Bill and Ted. Some wacky adventures with them.
Let's talk about one of your favorite franchises. Actually, we'll do two.
Oh, which one?
Jurassic Park.
Oh, that would be very nice.
Who would you want teamed up with in the DC universe with Jurassic Park?
Depends on which time period you want to go with. Do you want to go with the original or do you want to go with the newer? Because if you're going to go with the newer, it'd be Owen Grady. And Batman always has a contingency plan for everything. So, of course, he would have one for dinosaurs. And then you got the Daily Planet. They're like, hey, we got this island. Go do a scoop on it. And so Lois Lane goes out to the island, but Clark is like, "Oh, I'll come with you, Lois, because I don't think it's very safe." But you know, she's like, "Oh, well, the park is safe because you know it's still operating." So it's just like, "Oh, the park is safe. It'll be fine, Clark." He's like, "Well, I'm still gonna come with you just in case." Superman taking on that T-Rex though, he could take her.
Daily Planet adventure. No Superman. About a Daily Planet. It's all the Daily Planet gang, and they go into Jurassic Park.
They'll die.
They report it. That's their last thing.
Jimmy, where's those pictures of those dinosaurs?
No, it would be a documentary.
Perry White's got a bunch of margaritas with Jimmy Buffett.
Well, it's Perry, and you see him running away with the margaritas, and he's just like, "I'm not dying for this." But it's like one of those horror analog things where it's like the videotape, and it's just each one. It's like, I don't know where the other one. I don't know where everyone else is. I can't find anyone else. Oh God, what's that sound? And then it just cuts the static, and you just see blood all over the camera, and it's just like, all right, who survived from this trip? Maybe one person. They'd all be dead though. One person.
All right, Todd.
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. Wait, what about Lois Lane though? Superman
Yeah.
would actually come and save her though.
Time travel bullcrap.
Yeah.
Time travel.
How about they go visit Hogwarts and you have a new teacher?
Ooh.
Who's the teacher?
So, I was thinking Satana.
Is
What?
it Alanna?
I'm looking at Etrigan the Demon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Etrigan, Jason Blood
Yeah, it's Jason Blood, yeah.
as the dark arts teacher.
Yeah.
Because every dark arts teacher always dies. Zatanna
She'd be the nice
is a
teacher.
young girl.
Yeah.
Learning magic.
Yeah.
And Zatara
Her father, yeah.
is Zatara.
I think that would be really interesting. It's like Satara, pull some strings to get Satana to at least do like a semester at Hogwarts.
Constantine is Constantine. What would Constantine's in it?
He's the rebel that got kicked out.
Yeah.
He's the wizard. He's the wizard that all the kids have to go to.
Yeah, he's the one. He knows all the answers.
Constantine, new young little Volby.
That'd be interesting.
It would be.
All right, let's end this off. One final crossover. What do you want? Actually, before we do that, what do you want out of the Sonic the Hedgehog crossover?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to Batman and Shadow a lot. That one's gonna be cool. And then Knuckle. I really am interested in how they get their uniforms. That's gonna be the most the interesting thing. I just hope it's really cool and it's crazy. I'm
expecting it to be crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping like Dr. Robotnik is teamed up with Lex Luthor.
well, okay, so here's the plot. Darkseid gets a hold of the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh,
so that's the plot.
Okay, I haven't really.
Spoiler.
I haven't really paid. I know, like you guys are going crazy.
I haven't really been paying attention. I just know that
Renzo's been really excited for this.
Yeah, that's.
I have customers that are really excited for it because I had people last weekend asking, "Did you guys get that Sonic DC crossover yet?" And I'm going, "Nope, not yet."
Really quick, let's just take bets on this.
Yeah.
No money. Does Absolute Flash sell more copies, or does Sonic and DC? Because you got a new Absolute.
I think it's Sonic.
Sonic.
You think Sonic?
Because the new Sonic movie as well.
You have the new movie. It's a crossover. More kids are going to be more interested into it.
Well, let's talk really quick. The Fortnite. Remember when DC crossed up Fortnite? Remember how chaotic that was? That was a chaotic one because everybody needed that skin.
Yep.
And that didn't even go anywhere either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we clock out, one more crossover. What's your idea?
It's because I really want to see it. I want Phineas and Ferb.
Teaming up with who?
Ferb, I know what we're doing today.
Okay. I want Green Lantern. I want the Core. I want Sinestro just chilling with Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Oh, and Perry the Platypus gets a ring.
And Perry the Platypus.
A Green Lantern Platypus.
And
the Green Lantern
the squirrel.
Platypus.
Squirrel gives the scroll. Ends up coming down because Candace panics. And all of a sudden, he loses his ring, and Perry's like disappearing. And all of a sudden, he just swoops his ring and just turns, and it's Major Monim going, "Warning, Agent O! I'm sorry, Agent P. Why are you so green?" Sir, he could be just sick. Oh, the evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I like the idea of Dr. Doofenshmirtz takes on a cat.
Yeah.
And, it's the Red Lantern cat. And it's just like he takes the ring off of him, and Doofenshmirtz has the Red Lantern ring.
I just want to make the joke of Parallax. See, Parallax shows up, and it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Go, "Why do you look like a poop cloud?"
Oh, couple actually. I don't know if they've ever done one, but Muppets in DC.
I was thinking that too.
Or I don't know why my mind went.
But
to
who
this.
would they cross over with?
I think it'd be funny if well, it's the gang and it's Kermit going like, "All right, everybody, it's the Muppet Show, yay!" And it's
With our
just
very
like,
special guest,
Yeah,
Superman.
Superman! I don't know why, but my brain is just like, oh, maybe an Aquaman and SpongeBob crossover.
Mermaid Man, and
Yeah,
Barnacle Boy, Aquaman.
I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, that would be interesting. When you see Aquaman and then he's just like, oh my gosh, how long have you fellas been down here for?
One more, I'm sorry.
All right, go right ahead, dude.
Nightwing and Danny Phantom.
Oh,
that'd be interesting.
That'd be a nice one.
Yeah, that would be because listen, Technus ends up hacking every iPhone in Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
And the Fentons, they're tracking the ghost still.
I'm going ghost.
Special guest appearance by Dead Man.
Yep. What you telling? I'm staring at a book right now, and I wonder.
Staring at DuckTales?
No.
Woohoo!
Actually, the Peanuts.
Oh, the Peanuts.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
And it's Lucy somehow still defeats one of the villains.
With her therapy session.
I got it. Little orphan Annie. She gets adopted by Batman. Tell me you would not read that or watch that.
I would read it. I'd read that.
I would also like to see Dick Tracy.
Oh, we've been close to that. I swear we've been close to Dick Tracy.
We done the Spirit.
Yes.
We've done a lot of Spirit crossovers, but not Dick Tracy. There hasn't been...
Which is really shocking, especially...
Yeah. I'd love to see Dick Tracy and Dick... not do Dick Tracy and Batman. Do Dick Tracy and Harvey Bullock.
I'll give you one better. Dick Tracy and the Question.
Yeah, there we go, yeah. Here's an interesting one. Green Lantern and Flash Gordon.
That would be interesting. Who do you think would go well with Johnny Quest?
Flash Gordon and the Flash, and they just get confused. Flash? Yes?
I don't know.
Gordon, yes?
Wait a minute here. You're all both named Flash? Yes.
And he's named Gordon?
Same thing.
Ooh, Johnny Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did do a crossover.
Okay.
Adam Strange.
What about Johnny English?
Johnny English? Alfred.
Oh my god, yeah.
Alfred and Bean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gremlins.
I was thinking
Gremlins would be good.
I'm trying to figure one with wannabes.
Oh. What's that? Oh, Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh.
Josie and the Pussycats. That's like teaming up with Archie.
Yeah.
However, Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Who do we have with Archer? Right off the bat, Archer's mom is hooking up with Alfred.
Well, Archer looks like Bruce Wayne. How cool would it be?
They're long lost brothers. Step brothers.
Yep.
How have you two not thought of Back to the Future and Flash?
I just don't see it.
I feel like it can work, but at the same time,
it would have to be Barry Allen.
Yeah,
or not Barry Allen. It has to be Wally West.
Yeah.
Jay Garrett is in the if they go back to the 50s, Jay Garrett's there, and
you find out he's friends with Doc.
Yeah. So there's a way.
Yeah. I just don't see a story
could be a one shot.
Nice little one shot, yeah. I'm looking at my wall here.
Extraordinary Gentleman.
So
the JSA.
Yeah.
That's a weird one because I don't see it. Mostly because it's so different than what you see from DC and Marvel. And, I don't have a problem seeing, the characters like Alan Quartermain teaming up with, a different character, but as the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen teaming up with that, and those Alan Moore's version of those characters, I don't feel fits as much as I would love to sit there and say it does.
Alan Moore, Watchmen.
We don't we leave the Watchmen alone.
Okay.
We know what happens. It's called Doomsday Clock, and we don't talk about Doomsday Clock.
It's a sleeper. It's a sleeper. That's what it was. All that hype for nothing.
What really made me upset about Doomsday Clock? This is the main thing that really upset me. So you had Death Metal, great series, and you have this panel where they have Dr. Manhattan's body, and they put the Batman Whose Last Brain in it, and he becomes this evil Dr. Manhattan. You find out that that's not even Dr. Manhattan's body. So I wasted all this goddamn time reading Doomsday Clock because I really thought there was a reason why I had to read this book again, because I thought it was Dr. Manhattan. No, it's a freaking Bruce Wayne. They get trapped in a freaking nuclear fusion thing and becomes a Bruce Wayne Dr. Manhattan. Sorry. It was still dumb. I never Watchmen's its own thing, and if it's not has nothing to do with Alan Moore, I don't care. Like I didn't like the prequels. I didn't like when Dr. Manhattan showed up in Rebirth. Doomsday Clock was a joke. I never read Rorschach though.
Rorschach was a weird one.
Yeah.
Did they ever do a Constantine and Hellboy crossover?
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, there you go. There's the creative thinking right there.
It's like, how often do you see a Hellboy comic these days? You know,
Invincible. Even though it's happened.
Yeah,
it's happened.
But Superman. I mean, the choice is Superman, but I'm gonna go with Robin. And I'm gonna go with Tim Drake.
Okay.
Tim and Mark, they work together.
You said you were thinking of 2 franchises. We already talked about the Jurassic Park one.
Oh, the other one is Indiana Jones.
I was
thinking Indiana Jones. I would like that one to be with Hawkman.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
I think Hawkman would be interesting.
And he is disguised throughout the whole one, working with Indy.
So I have a weird one for you because I'm looking straight at it, looking at that money bin. Scrooge McDuck teams up with Detective Chimp.
Okay.
Scrooge McDuck's #1 dime is stolen.
Okay. I feel like that'd be a funny story to read. You know, it'd also be I think it'd be like one catered towards kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like one that kids would love to pick up. Because it's like, who doesn't love Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
You got one.
I got one. It's such a weird concept.
Is it weirder than Aquaman and the SpongeBob crossover?
No, that's not weird. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird. The Lex Luthor.
Okay.
The Legion of Doom get shrunk and turn into babies.
Okay.
And they end up in the Rugrats universe.
Not where I was thinking. I thought you were going to say Muppet Babies.
Nope. Rugrats.
We already discussed the Muppets.
The Rugrats universe.
Quail Man.
Okay.
Quail Man and Superboy.
Let's see.
What haven't we said yet? That isn't already a crossover.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron.
I was thinking Jimmy Neutron meeting with Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the way it goes is that Sheen is obsessed with a new hero.
Yeah, not Ultraman. Or Ultra Lord,
and
whatever.
Somehow Jimmy's able to grab him. He's able to bring him in and like, Sheen, meet Mr. Terrific. And it's just like all these adventures.
Yeah.
Sheen just drops his Ultra Lord.
Yep. Oh, let's see what's in there.
And next show and
I'm trying to figure out Period Parents.
Mr. Terrific.
Oh, yeah, that one's been going through Speed Racer.
Speed Racer.
I think Speed Racer would be cool.
But who would Speed Racer team up with?
Here's the weirdest thing: Catwoman.
Okay.
Catwoman enters an underground race.
It's a weird choice, but there's like a thief, and like Catwoman is like the only person that can actually decode it and break it.
Let's think of one more. One. Which one can we think of? I'm thinking of animes. I'm thinking now. I'm anime now. Thanks a lot.
Oh, right now they're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto.
Yeah.
But that's not DC.
I know.
Well-
They could do Naruto and DC.
Popeye.
Oh, Popeye.
Oh, of course. How can we forget about Popeye?
Let's see. Aquaman and Popeye.
Yes. He shows him the
Aquaman,
power of
Popeye.
spinach.
Not
And
seaweed.
Popeye's able to beat the crap out of Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have that scene where he just punches.
They're in a bar. Popeye's just chugging some spinach. Aquaman's drinking a beer.
Yeah, they're both drinking a beer. You know, one person makes an offhand comment about one another.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a piece of spinach. You know, they a little fist fight here, and then he just takes a piece of spinach and just
Make the ultimate.
Winds
I'm
up
gonna
the
make the
team.
ultimate Momoa universe. You bring Lobo into it.
I want it to be Pluto teams up with Black Manta.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea. It's Black Manta, Pluto, and Popeye.
Mhm.
They start off together as a team. Like, you know, they're off there getting treasure. You know,
Yeah.
Popeye realize, Pluto and Black Manta, you know, they start doing things they probably shouldn't do. Like Popeye's like, yeah, mermaid. You got to have a mermaid olive oil. You know.
Okay, it's the same thing like Aquaman and SpongeBob. I mean, Mermaid Man and Batman and Robin. It's Batman 66 meets Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Now, are they old or are they young?
Oh, I actually want to see them young.
All of them young.
Yep, they're all the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were young.
All right, here's the final one.
Okay.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
Oh, simple.
Crimson Chin and Catman.
You know what? Crimson Chin and Superman.
You got Crimson Chin, Superman, and then Catman and Batman.
Comic or animated movie?
Animated.
No.
I want Kevin Conroy to work with Jay Leno.
I hate to break some bad news to you. Kevin Conroy's dead.
I want Adam West Catman back.
That'd be interesting with DC's Catman.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, how cool would it be? Adam West's Batman versus Adam West's Catman,
That's what I was
and then it's just Adam West throughout the whole.
Yeah, it's just him having home.
Just Adam West
Oh,
teaming up.
and then hold on, and then let's just make it. It's just an Adam West universe, and then all of a sudden Mayor West shows up.
Adam West
Guys,
meets the DC
Gotta get
universe.
out of here. My parents are home.
Yes, because of that. I did. Did you enjoy the Adam West comic book?
That I want to talk about.
Sure.
Or it was an idea that happened right after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder wanted to do Batman versus everyone.
Oh, yes, I remember this. This.
I don't think they were very close at it. But
I don't think so. I can see it happening more now.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing: you do the normal New 52 Snyder Batman, or do you do absolute Batman now?
You do the new you do the new 52 Batman. You just do Batman. Like,
Just Batman.
because I think absolute Batman, that's just another universe that you're just gonna confuse people. You just want regular readers to come in there and read it, and people just know Batman. They don't know the absolute Batman.
Yeah. Familiarity.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Forgot about that one.
Batman, yeah.
Yep.
And with that, we're gonna call it a day because we have been at it for an hour.
An hour. Woohoo!
A little bit longer than I wanted, but you know, that's part of the DC guys. obviously I can cut this down. So,
Howard editing.
next issue or next episode will be our actual first episode of the season 2. These last 2 episodes have been specials, essentially. Of course, I still have episode 6 I got to put up. But season 2 is going to be coming along, and we're going to talk everything about Batman Hush.
Yes, it's next week. Next week is Batman Hush 2. The my most anticipated comic book of this year is Batman Hush 2.
But
I hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah. I am very, very worried.
Yeah, so am I.
But
keep my high hopes.
Because the thing is, really don't know much about this book. I mean, they put like little animated things, which I think this could have been cool as an animated movie again. But we're gonna talk about next episode. We're gonna talk about Batman Hush, the Batman Hush animated movie, Tales from the Dark Universe of Hush, or the Dark Multiverse. Yes.
Yeah.
And then what to expect from Batman Hush 2.
And maybe even a review, because depending on when we record, could be a review of the first issue. But then after that, we're going straight into Superman.
Yep, it becomes Superman full-time. Superman season of the summer, because summer of Superman is coming. God, Superman's coming. Really?
Yeah, really soon.
Soon. It's really to think about. It's almost because spring's hitting up and it's gonna be Superman time.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully have a new. We'll have a new studio. We'll have some nice posters coming. I got some
posters and things like that. Yeah, I'm in the process of moving, so there's nothing fancy going on here.
We got some nice new comics coming. Definitely,
and we are planning to do a lot more with just DC in general.
And you will be expecting to see Alanna, Kyle, and some other guests too. But we're gonna wrap it up. I'm Adam.
I'm Alanna.
And I'm Todd.
You guys have an awesome week. Go get Sonic in DC, and also pick up Absolute Flash. Whew. See you next time.
I feel like I'm missing one more book, but
damn it.